20 years ago, a brewer in Vermont invented the hazy IPA, which has taken over the world. Today, we rank the best of them.
Homebrewing has been the foundation of the beer community in America for over 40 years. It's in trouble and it needs your help.
He's Andrew Colligan, I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport for a new episode of What's Brewing. Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow, joined by Andrew Colligan. Andrew's the head of sales for Conshohocken Brewing Company, and today we're at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport, one of the fine establishments of said brewery, where I am drinking, well, it's really my favorite beer here, the MC5.
One of our absolute favorites, and my go-to, especially this time of year, Life Coach, our hazy IPA.
Oh, this is good. So these are both hazies. I imagine good sellers for us.
I would say that, yes, other than Ring the Bell, our American lager, which is a huge part of our business, hazy IPAs make up a pretty tremendous amount of it.
And this leads us to our topic today, which is hazy IPAs. Not the first time in 9 seasons we've done it. It's my favorite style. And it involves both our beer swap and our ranking of beers from all 50 states, which is what we're trying to do on the show today. Today we're going to have numbers 27, 28, and 29. We're making progress. So the backstory on this is 20 years ago, and correct me if my facts aren't right, an enterprising young brewer in Vermont invented the hazy IPA. Heady Topper is the outgrowth of this. The Alchemist was the brewery. Andrew, do me a favor. Explain to me kind of the backstory on how this came to be.
Yeah, John Kimmich out of Vermont has a storied history when it comes to working at breweries.
Did I say Vermont or New Hampshire?
I think you might have said Vermont, but hopefully, because that's where it all came from. That's
okay,
where it all
good.
started. So Heady Topper is, and I got poured into my classic Alchemist glass here just to make sure I'm drinking out of the right glass. Well, we're not even supposed to pour it, right?
I
So
know,
right
you're
here in the
supposed
can.
to drink it out of the can, right, because the sediment's at the bottom, but, hey. Okay, so, yes.
He made the beer that really put hazy New England style IPAs on the map, and many would think, still to this day, possibly the best IPA in the country, or maybe even in the world.
Good. It is really, really good. What is the difference? So the West Coast IPA came along before that, out of California, Washington, Oregon, and then he did this. What is essentially the difference?
One of the big differences, and it kind of is a little bit overlooked, is the yeast. So he uses a special yeast called Conan, the Barbarian yeast, which he actually got from a friend of his that he worked at the Vermont Pub and Brewery from England, from the United Kingdom, brought it over here and started using it, and then that's basically where a lot of these flavors come from. The fruity esters, the soft palate, the haziness, obviously, which is now a signature of this beer. He also pioneered canning beer, and why it's so adamant about keeping it and drinking it from the can.
And am I right, it's because he wants the sediment to stay at the bottom?
That's part of it, especially 20 years ago. People weren't really used to seeing hazy beer, or also a lot of, obviously your hop particulate and yeast particulate in the bottom of it. But the other thing is because his belief, and ours too, which is why we put almost everything in cans, is that canned beer is the best beer. It's opaque, light can't get in. It also keeps a nice little bed of CO2 on top of it, keep that beer fresh. Canned beer is the best way to go, and he was a pioneer.
Okay, so his place is a destination place. People line up to get it when it's available. They wait outside, limited distribution and so on. And this is also one of those that I brought you. This is maybe my favorite beer. This is Julius from Massachusetts, Treehouse Brewing in Massachusetts, 6.8%. This is their flagship IPA. I'm going to read you what they say. Filled with flavors and aromas of mango, peach, passion fruit, and a melange of citrus juice, a soft, pillowy mouthfeel and rounded bitterness ensure it never tires the palate. You're going to see a photo of me. This is me at Treehouse Brewery, taking out my my case there. It smells great.
This is the evolution.
Look at the look of that. This is so good, yeah.
The evolution of hazy IPA. So let's say, the Alchemist Heady Topper was the start of it 20 years ago. They actually just did the 20th anniversary of Heady Topper over at Vermont. Yeah. But this is where it has become. The Treehouse Brewing Company is one of the marquee, possibly considered the best hazy IPA brewery. But it's also crazy how much hazy IPAs have changed even since when Heady Topper was on the scene 20 years ago till what they are now to this day.
All right, keep talking, I'll just drink. And you brought me one. I know you go up to Maine a lot during the year. You brought me, again, another one that very popular, very iconic.
Absolutely. I love Maine. I don't want to make sure that Maine wasn't left out in this conversation. So I bought Maine Beer Company's Lunch India Pale Ale, which is a favorite in Maine, a favorite of mine whenever I go up there, but also around here. It's on tap all over the place in and around the Philadelphia market.
Yeah, go ahead. By the way, we get all of these beers come from Lower Merion Beverage Company on Greenfield Avenue in Ardmore. We thank them for that and being part of our 50-state beer challenge. And if you go there, any of the beers we have, you can get at 10% off there. Okay, let's try this Maine Lunch.
No promise that Jim's always going to have Hetty Topper there for you, but the other ones for sure.
That's good. It's really, really good. I love the taste. I love the complexity of it. I love it.
And in a bottle. You know, they're really environmentally focused, and that's a big part of all these Vermont, New England breweries is how environmentally focused they are.
All right, so some other iconic ones that we're leaving out, you've got a few of them over there.
Yeah, I don't want to leave it out. One of my absolute favorites every time I go up to Vermont is Fiddlehead IPA. I bought it in the big boy can too, the 19.2.
Good. No, don't open. We can't drink them all. Go ahead. All right, I brought you this one, which is Dead Flowers, which Jim Martin highly recommended.
Foam Brewing Company.
I think New Hampshire, that one.
That one's Vermont, right down.
Vermont.
Yeah, right around Burlington.
They're small states. I mix them up.
There's Lawson's Sip of Sunshine is a really fantastic one. I got It's Complicated Being a Wizard from Burlington Brewing Company in Burlington, Vermont. So some really fantastic
So
options.
as you said, this 20 years now we're into this, and this craze is huge. It's big for us here. It's big everywhere.
Yeah.
Any signs of it kind of peaking and going down?
No, I think it's going to exist at least in your lifetime.
That
Hopefully in
works
my
for me.
lifetime too.
All right, now we got to rank these things.
Sure.
We've been ranking all 50 states. Here we go. From 1 to 100, 90 is excellent, 80 is very good. It's like, when you went to school.
Yeah.
I know, a lot of 70s. Okay, here you go.
This is really tough because we're looking at 3 of the best IPAs in the country.
Hetty Topper, what do you say?
Oh man, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's a 100, the perfect.
Whoa!
Beer. I know. That's a big swing there, but
All right, I'm going 87. I like it, but I want to leave room above it. Main Lunch.
I'm going to give that one a solid 90. A really, really fantastic beer.
Okay, I'm going 86.
Yeah. And
Julius.
Perhaps controversial. I am going to put it below Hetty Topper.
No!
I'm going to give it a 95.
Oh, 95. Well, I'm going 99, which puts it in the lead for the 50 states. By the way, just in case you're keeping score at home, the ones that we have like our favorites so far: Maui Brewing Coconut Highway Porter from Hawaii, Half Acre Bodum IPA from Illinois, Georgia Sweetwater 420 IPA, Boulevard Brewing from Kansas City, Tank 7 Saison, Duck Rabbit Porter from North Carolina, Epic Brewing Big Bad Baptist Toasted Coconut from Utah. Whoa. But these have taken over the lead. When we get back, we're going to talk about homebrewing, a great hobby which is in some distress. We're at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport. Andrew Colligan, Glen Macnow. I'm just going to drink this while we're gone. What's brewing?
I'm Samantha Cole with the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. We're here at Valley Forge National Historical Park with Kirsten Tallman, race director of the Valley Forge Revolutionary 5-mile run and 2-mile walk. Hey Kirsten, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks.
Of course. So Kirsten, for those that may not be familiar, what is Valley Forge Revolutionary Run, famously nicknamed Rev Run?
Rev Run, yes. Thanks, Sam. So the Valley Forge Revolution 5-mile run is a run that started 18 years ago in conjunction with the Tourism Board and the National Park Service to recognize that this beautiful place where people come to recreate and use it for its historical purposes come together and support it. And so what we do is we run this 5-mile race throughout the park and then also have a 2-mile walk. And all the proceeds that we have that go to this race go back into the park.
Great. Okay, and we noticed that you are holding something behind you. So is there anything you would like to reveal?
I would. This is the shirt for the 2024 Valley Forge Rev Run. So there's still time to register. If you wanted to register, you would get this shirt. We do have participation medals, which there will be a secret reveal for that coming soon. But this is the shirt that's coming out to the runners and the walkers this year for 2024 Valley Forge Revolutionary 5-mile run.
And you mentioned sponsorship and that this year you're seeing record sponsorship. And if we flip the shirt around,
There's quite a few.
There are.
A few.
There are. Wonderful. So you mentioned folks can still register up until the day before race day at revolutionaryrun.org.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. He's Andrew Colligan. I'm Glen Macnow at Conshohocken Brewing Company, Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport. Fine place. Come over for dinner. Come over for lunch. Enjoy a beer like this Type A, our flagship IPA.
Fantastic.
Always.
And with the Philly season here, Ring the Bell American Lager, my go-to all year long.
And a good one to get down to the ballpark, as a matter of fact, right?
Well, outside, inside the ballpark, all over the ballpark.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I saw some distressing news recently, which was that the Philly Homebrew outlet closed its shop at 47th and Woodland after 8 years of operation, and they had multiple stores. They closed one, they closed another, they closed the whole thing. And what they said when they were done is, we are sad to say we've closed the doors. It seems like the hobby, which has been such a fun thing for so many people, is a little bit on the decline and a little bit in trouble. I read that membership in the American Homebrewers Association is down 14,000 people. They're not even having a convention this year.
Which is a shame, because just being someone that was able to go to the National Homebrewers Convention when it was in Philadelphia, it was amazing.
Yeah, this is a hobby that you've done for a while, right?
Yeah, come up 14 years. And Nick and Jimmy from Philly Homebrew Outlet were a big part of that, right? So they had at one time 3 locations. The original one back in Fishtown I would regularly go to in Jersey. My buddy Jim Fish and our whole crew from South Jersey Fermentation Club would get all of our supplies there and do our big brew day outside in their parking lot.
So we did last year, you were part of it. We did a couple of shows at that homebrew convention or whatever it was.
Yeah, up at Keystone. That was a heck of a time.
Yeah, the Keystone. We had a great time doing it. All these people are enthusiastic. So what's going on? Why is the hobby in decline? What would be the biggest reason you would cite?
I think there's a lot of different, obviously, factors, but a big part of it is just the aging of the homebrewers, and there's not a younger crop coming in to kind of backfill that. Another big part of it, myself being a guy in his late 30s with a daughter and a wife and a full-time job, the time to commit to a hobby, unfortunately, is not there for me, and I don't get to brew anywhere near as much as I would like to. So, yeah, I think that's for a lot of folks.
And there's another interesting factor that I think is part of it. So you started doing this how many years ago?
A little bit over 14 years ago.
Okay, 14 years ago, I would dare say there were not as many interesting beers in the market, as many interesting places to go to, as many places. Listen, I can go here and there's, what do we got on tap? 10, 12 beers at any time.
We do,
right?
and another more, a whole bunch to go, too.
Right, I can go to Lower Merion Beverage and there's amazing different options and styles, and anything I want is there. Why do I need to make it myself if I can get anything I want?
Hey, that's a big part of it. Heady Topper, the best IPA in the world. Let's say you could go over to Lower Merion Beverage, talk to Jim, and a couple times a year and actually buy that beer.
Right. Or if I want a coffee stout, or if I want a fruit beer, or if whatever I want, you can buy it these days.
100%.
Right?
14 years ago when I first started this, I brewed the first Gosa that I ever tried.
Yeah.
So Edelweiss, all these other styles that I had read about in books, wanted to try, I did not have the commercially available to go out and buy, so I brewed them at home. Now, with the expansion of craft breweries all over the country, you can get just about almost any style of beer you could ever imagine.
You don't have to make your own because you can get whatever you want. I get it.
That's a big part.
If there's a great restaurant, I don't have to cook my own meal, I can get it and it's affordable and so on and so forth. Is also one of the situations, this relates specifically to the supply outlet closing, that like everything else, you just buy stuff online. It's tough for retail in any business, right?
Yeah, brick and mortar stores are having a challenge right now. I can think of basically there's 2 homebrew stores within drive from me from Philly, one of which being Keystone, the other one down in Havertown. At one time, there was 4 just operating in the city limits of Philadelphia, 4 to 5 down in South Jersey, and unfortunately, a lot of these guys have had to close shop.
I hope, because I know I've met so many people who are in the hobby, who enjoy the hobby, and I really hope that it has a little bit of a bounce back. So somebody who's watching this, if we haven't talked you out of it, who wants to hey, you know what, that sounds like fun, how would they get involved?
The biggest thing, I always said this before, start with a book, read up a little bit about it, try some batches at home, but the biggest thing is go to your local homebrew shop and talk with the people at that local homebrew shop if you can about possibly joining a homebrew club, of which there's a tremendous amount local. We got Mainline Brewers Association, Band of Media Brewers, Aliens, My Homebrew Club, South Jersey Fermentation Club. Join it for a great group of folks that you could talk to about the beer, develop your skills, share the different beers.
Yeah,
it's not just beer
fun.
either.
It's a social thing.
Yeah, wine, hard cider, mead, hot sauce, all these different things you can make at home. So.
What was it, 1840?
Hey, it only takes 18 months to make a good one.
I got time. All right. Anyway, so we wish it well. All right, I want to show you something here. Just a little funny video. This, my friends, is a tragedy in 15 seconds. What you see here is this is a brewer in Minnesota who was in for a big surprise when a valve sprayed him. It's an understatement with beer. Back Channel Brewing Company shared this video on social media, kind of making light of the incident. Last we know, he survived, and that the beer also survived.
I've seen that in person. Is
that right?
It is scary as hell to watch.
Pretty high pressure coming out.
You aren't kidding. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, coming up, we're going to give you the latest on our photo contest and the greatest beer commercial ever. I am not underselling it. Andrew Colligan, Glen Macnow, Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport. What's brewing?
Whether you're lounging at the beach, exploring the Swarthmore scene, or kicking back in our Linvilla beer garden, Ship Bottom Brewery brings the beach to you. We're thrilled to call LBI our home, where we've crafted award-winning beers perfect for our beloved locals, surfers, and seasonal beach visitors. Our refreshing brews are a year-round beach party, thriving in the summer heat and welcoming chilly winters with open arms. These island beers are perfect for every season and making every sip a mini vacation. Ship Bottom Brewery, where the sun-kissed season never ends and the ice-cold pours are an experience you'll savor long after you've left the island.
Hi, Mom. We're in Bucks County together, and it's exactly what we needed. I can't believe he pulled this off. A surprise getaway to a place that feels refreshing. And it was so easy to get here. We're doing all the things he had planned, and things he didn't plan. I'll tell you more about it when we get home. You and Dad need to come. You'd love it here.
Hey, it's What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow. This is Andrew Colligan, head of sales and chief bottle washer at Conshohocken Brewing Company. We're at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap, which is good because I'm drinking the Puddler's Row ESB, one of my favorites, the English bitter. We've had it here since we opened 10 years ago, and I've had more than my share of it. And you didn't even switch. You're drinking the same beer.
I switched the glass at least, so hey, I'm all in. Let's go Phillies. Ring the bell.
There you go. Ring the bell is a great one, and it's a great one for this time of year. All right, time for our photo contest this week. It's a fun one. We asked you last time to show us a picture of you drinking beer on the water, which meant on a boat, in the ocean, at a swimming pool, whatever. This is you and your wife. What are you doing here?
Yeah, it's our engagement photos over by Wissahickon Creek, pretty close to my house. Valley Green Inn, Forbidden Drive there. Just
Mrs. Colligan, very nice. All right, here's our winners for the week. This is Stephen Miller and friends fishing on Oneida Lake, New York, with a 60-minute IPA. That seems like a fun way to spend an afternoon.
Fishing and beer, that's a solid combo.
Right, that's good stuff by him. Arlene McCann and pal Kayla on a boat, Lago Trasimeno, with some Peronis. That's in Italy. Thus the Peronis.
Yeah, nota bene. Beautiful.
Okay, and this is Christopher Dominski, Santa in a Speedo. Well, guess what? All of you get invited. All right, let's take Christopher down, for God's sakes.
You got to wear that outfit to the party.
Yes. Good point. All of you win entry to our season-ending party, which is going to be right here, by the way, at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in May. Our big season-ending bash. Congratulations, you all win. Oh, wait, one more picture. Who? Well, that's our producer, Rebecca, in a swimming pool with a beer and some floaties.
Oh, there you go.
Nicely done, Rebecca. You can come to the party, too. All right, it's time for the new call for next week, and this is really simple. This is all we need. It's a picture of you drinking beer with a great meal. Now, here's the thing, Andrew.
Yes.
I have a lot of pictures of me drinking beer.
Yes.
I have a lot of pictures of me eating a great meal. I actually have a lot of pictures of my beer with a meal, but not me.
Yeah.
What I don't have is a lot of pictures of me with the beer with the meal. I got this one. This is me and my wife. I'm eating onion rings. My favorite food, by the way, in the world is onion rings.
Number one.
I love onion rings.
How about that?
I love onion rings and a beer. So this is Judy and I with onion rings and a beer. But this is what we're calling for. So send us a picture of you enjoying a meal with a beer. It doesn't have to be onion rings, but it wouldn't hurt. But make sure your face is in the picture, okay? Because again, I'm sure you have a lot of pictures of food and beer.
I looked through hundreds of pictures of food with beer.
Yeah.
Not a single one where I took a picture of myself. With the
Right.
food with the beer.
We need you, food, beer. It's a three-parter. You, food, beer. The best one, send them to my social media at Real Glen Macnow on Twitter, Glen Macnow on Facebook, or the show at What's Brewing PA. You'll find us, send it to us, and you could win a chance to come to our season-ending party. All right, I want to show you this. This, my friends, is only the greatest beer commercial ever made. Let me give you some background. This was for Carlton Beer in Australia. You know Carlton Beer?
I think I've had it once or
Okay,
twice. You know,
all right.
It's been a little bit.
So this Carlton Beer in the early 2000s was like a distant second to Foster's in Australia, and they like, how are we going to make an impact? And they said, let's make the biggest beer ad ever, and they did. Roll it.
It's a big ad, very big ad. It's a big ad, very. It's a big ad. My God, it's big. Can't believe how big it is. It's a big ad. For crowds and crowds. It's just so freaking good. It's a big ad. Expensive ad. This ad better sell some money.
What do you think?
That's a big ad.
That's a big, that's a big ass ad. So Big Ad was shot over 3 freezing days near Queenstown, New Zealand, in a valley that had already been featured in Lord of the Rings, by the way.
How about that?
The same director of photography. They had, I know that you were hoping that each of those was an individual person.
I was really, yes, that was a couple thousand guys that all got together, had a whole bunch of beers, and then
It
filmed
was
that.
300, listen, it was a cast of 300.
Still pretty good.
And through CGI, they made the crowd to 20,000 people. It wasn't 20,000 actual people through the magic of through special effects. They released it, and the beer, after the release, shot up and caught Foster's for a while.
How about that?
Because of the power of that ad. And
Tough to top that, though.
And I absolutely love it. Anyway, it's the best beer ad ever, simply. All right, coming up, we're going to tell you about some very exciting things going on at Conshohocken Brewing Company you don't want to miss, including a big party you're invited to. Andrew Colligan, Glen Macnow. What's brewing?
Hey, Glenn, what brings you into our King of Prussia tap room today?
Well, Andrew, I'm meeting a few friends for a beer before our big event tonight. King of Prussia is the perfect location.
Yes, indeed. Conshohocken Brewing's 4 spots are all great for any event. Big plans for tomorrow?
I'm going to enjoy happy hour at the Rec Room in Phoenixville before some rousing games of ping pong and shuffleboard with the family.
Well, you can't beat record when it comes to food and fun for the whole family. How about this weekend?
Saturday, I'm riding my bike along the Schuylkill River Trail before stopping at Conchi Tap Room for some post-ride refreshments.
It's a great idea. Our original Conchi tap room at mile marker 12.5 is the go-to spot for locals, visitors, anybody looking to quench their thirst.
And I've got Sunday covered. We're going to enjoy lunch at Puddler's Kitchen and Tap in Bridgeport, then go outside for a few cold ones at the beer garden, then back in to enjoy the ball game.
What a week in all of Conshohocken Brewing's unique spots. I'll meet you there for a pint or two.
Cheers. Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. He's Andrew Colligan. You're going right out of the can again, are you?
Oh, why the heck not? Look at this guy.
What do you got there?
Watermelon, our American wheat ale with watermelon.
Nice release.
got
for
some
the
nice Philly
spring
water
as
in
as the weather warms up. I'm drinking the Blood Money. This is the Guava Blood Money. Good stuff. And there's a lot going on at Conshohocken Brewing I want to talk to you about, including, let us start with 10th anniversary, man.
That's
Time
it.
flies, pal.
How about that? Last
Yeah.
decade, it really does fly. We can have high times if you'll abide.
Oh, God, please don't give me a lot of Grateful Dead stuff. I'm begging you, don't do it to me. 10th anniversary party is right around the corner. Tell people, everybody's invited, right?
That's it. What a long, strange trip it's
Oh,
been.
Why are you doing it? Because it's on 420? Is
Saturday,
that it? It's April
420, absolutely, all day, starting at noon. It's our original Conshohocken tap room right there on the Schuylkill River Trail.
Yeah.
We're going to have special 10th anniversary releases of our first ever beer we brewed, Conshohocken IPA.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Releases of different limited release beers all throughout the day. We got Meat Wagon Barbecue, special 10th anniversary merch. It's going to be one heck of a party.
Good. You need one more Grateful Dead reference, or are you done with those?
One good ride from start to end.
Oh, my God, he will not stop. Anyway, come out to that party. It's going to be a fun one. It's been a good 10 years. All right. Okay, so something else that's going on now that I think is pretty exciting is now I can get Conshohocken Brewing to come right out to me for my party?
Absolutely. Hey, you already love coming out to our 4 great locations for private events. Why not let us bring the party to you? So we can bring our fantastic locally made beer, draft services, a full selection of Pennsylvania-made wine and spirits to come out to your private, public, corporate event, block party, whatever you got going on.
I got a block party with like 180 people later in the summer. I can do that?
I'll have to be
We get the
there.
tent
Absolutely.
going and the whole thing? And
Yes.
yeah?
Send me some dates. I won't come to everybody's event, but for yours.
I was going to say, you'll come and serve personally?
Absolutely. For you, anything.
Okay, so people can actually have Conshohocken Brewing do their event at their place. Very cool. Also, big charity event coming up very soon after this show airs. I know you're personally involved in this.
Yeah, this Thursday. I'm wearing the shirt myself. So our very good friends from the Goat's Beard, Steve DeLong and his wonderful son,
in Wayne.
Bradley.
Great place in Wayne.
One of our absolute favorites, big partners of ours, and they're having this fantastic event Thursday night starting at 6 o'clock featuring Tim Williams Band live.
Tim Williams.
Yeah, I know you know
I
him.
taught that kid in college.
All of 100% proceeds going to benefit the Eagles Autism Challenge and Steve's wonderful, wonderful son, Bradley. It's going to be a great event, tons of great Conshohocken beer, raffles, silent auctions. It's going to be a heck of a time.
All right, so we got the QR code right there on the screen.
Yeah.
So if people put their phone up to the QR code, what are they going to see?
Hey, please, that's going to be something you can donate directly to Steve's Eagles Autism Challenge page there. And yeah, if you can't make it to the party, please at least think about ordering a t-shirt, one of these fine shirts here. Or
Oh, nice one.
yeah, not bad, right?
There you go.
It's a little
Yeah.
louder than I'm used to.
Very
but
nice.
I
That's
like it.
Thursday, April the 18th.
Starting at 6 o'clock at the Goat's Beard in Wayne. It's going to be a heck of a party. I'm going to be there. Hopefully you can make it
I
too.
will be there, I promise. I will not be there all night, but I will be there. Early arrive. Come for the early bird special. That's kind of my speed.
We'll see how the night goes.
For that. All right. Okay, good. Andrew Colligan, it is always a pleasure to see you. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoyed those New England IPAs there, didn't you?
And I'll tell you what, I'd still like to call them Philadelphia IPAs, but yeah, these are from New England, so I guess we could call them.
We have a new leader. Don't go anywhere. We have a new leader in the clubhouse for the 50 State Beer Challenge, and it's this one from Massachusetts.
Julius?
Yeah, from Treehouse Brewing. We'll be back with more of that next week. And we'll see you all next week on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com.
And Ship Bottom Brewery, brewed for the beach and everything else. Locations in Beach Haven, Swarthmore, and Atlan Villa Orchards.